Hello, welcome back to Sabi Market Channel. It's nice to have you here today. All right. So in this video would be taking an analysis of Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC cash flow. So Stanbic IBTC is a bank in financial industry in Nigeria, and we would the waterfall chart here, as we see, is depicting what's their cash flow for the year 2023 has been like, from starting cash, what they started with at the beginning of the year and what they eventually ended with at the beginning of the year, and all of the amounts, the values in naira that we see here are in millions. So for instance, their starting cash, which is what they began with at the beginning of the year 2023, was 611 billion naira, and then they ended with a cash of 754 billion naira. That's about over 100,000 naira difference apart. Okay, so we could see different colors of bars, different bars at representing different things. So the green bars are simply representing positive values, the red bar is representing negative value, and the gray bars are representing the total. So the total starting cash and the total ending cash are in gray. All right, so before we dig deep into what this chart is communicating, let's see what cash flow actually is. So what is cash flow analysis, if we may ask? So the cash flow analysis is the process of evaluating a company's ability to generate or manage its cash, to generate and manage its cash rather, over time. So how does it manage its cash flow? How does a company manage its cash flow? How efficient is their ability to manage their cash flow? How efficient are they in the management and in the generation of their cash flow over time? And the time here we are looking at just 1 year. So it further involves examining the inflows, like I mentioned before, and outflows of cash and cash equivalents to assess a company's ability to meet short-term obligations, their ability to meet long-term obligations, and it also measures the ability to adapt to changing circumstances in their various industries. So now this is a very good metric to look at when we are evaluating the financial efficiency, competency, or health of a given company. So in the cash flow analysis, we look at the starting cash, as we see here, which is the first gray bar, which is showing the total starting cash. We have the operating cash flow, we have the investing cash flow, we have the financing cash flows. I will talk a bit about this as we continue in the video. And then we have the net change in cash, and then finally we have the ending cash. So these are the various categories or components that we have in a cash flow analysis. So one of the benefits of a cash flow analysis to a company is that it's improved their financial management. It can enhance decision making, it can help in better risk assessment, it increases transparency. So we see how the money came in, we see how the money went out, then more accurate forecasting. It can help to better, forecast a company's financial movement. So by conducting a thorough cash flow analysis, businesses and investors, people like you and me, can gain valuable insight into a company's financial health, identify areas for improvement, and also make informed decisions rather. So let's take a look at what the cash flow of Stanbic IBTC Bank is saying or has said in 2023. So like I mentioned before, they began with a starting cash of 611.2 billion naira, and now this starting cash is also indicating the ending cash. So the cash they ended with in the previous year is 611.2 billion. So definitely what they will start with in 2014, their starting cash for 2014 will be 754.9 billion naira. So the ending cash for the previous year is the starting cash for the current year. So that's how it is. And the ending cash for the current year will be the starting cash for the next year, or the succeeding year rather. So operating cash flow is actually indicating how much they spend when it comes to their operation, how they came up with production operations, and came up with the delivery of the goods or the services. How much did they spend in coming up with the product? How much did they spend in delivering the service to people? So whether it's a service delivering company or a production company, so what was their operations like? What was their production like? That is what this operating cash flow is actually indicating, and that's showing a value of 112.1 billion. Let me take a zoom so that you can get a closer look. Oh, hope you're not acting funny. Pardon me. Oh wow. Just a minute, please. This will come up back. Pardon me, the system is booting. Okay, come back. Just hold on a beat, and we'll be back. Okay. Wow, it's not responding. Oh. Okay, we're back live. Alright, so sorry, I apologize for that. My system just acted funny. So I was actually talking about the operating expenses, operating cash flow rather. There's just a lot of glitches in this video. So that's actually, the operating cash flow for 2023 for the Stanbic IBTC Holding was 112 billion naira. Now their investing cash flow was actually 14.5 billion naira. So this investing cash flow is actually talking about how much they made, how much they invested. Yeah, most of the time, if you have seen my previous videos, most of the time this value is negative. And negative is not that they actually lost money, but that they put out more money into investment. But this place right here is actually showing a positive value. So when it's showing a positive value, it's actually saying that the company has actually generated more cash from investing activities than it has used, and this actually indicates a good sign. It shows a positive sign for the company. So it indicates that the company is selling their investments. That means they are generating cash from sale of investments such as their stocks, their bonds, or real estate. So it could also be that they are receiving dividends. So they might have made investments in previous years and they are receiving dividends from that particular investment. They can also be receiving dividends from stocks or mutual funds that they have purchased from other companies. It could also be that they are receiving interest, so from loans or debt securities. So maybe they gave loan out or all of that, and then they are receiving interest. It could also be that they are disposing their assets. So if they sold the property, that could be one of the reasons why this value is showing is giving a positive value for here. And then the financing cash flows. So the financing cash flow for this particular company is showing 141.4 billion naira for the particular year 2023. And then we see here, let me check this out, okay, for a better view now. So we see here now that the net change in cash, so this net change in cash is, most of the cases also, it used to be a positive value. Now when it becomes negative value, what is it actually saying? So to give a light, so if the net change in cash is showing a negative value on the financial statement, now we should understand that these values were actually taken from the financial statement of Stanbic IBTC Bank. So now if it is showing a negative value, it indicates that the company's cash balance has decreased over the reporting period. So this means that the company cash outflows exceeded its cash inflow, resulting in a net reduction in cash. So that's basically what it's saying. Now, some of the reasons for this negative net change in cash could be operating losses. So the company may be experiencing operating losses leading to decrease in cash. So it could be high capital expenditure, which may be, if you remember, I mentioned that when their cash flow here, one of the reasons may be that they sold some of their properties and all of that. So this could be, it could also reflect some of the actions taken in the investing cash flow can reflect in the net change in cash. So dividend payments too can actually influence this negative value. So if they paid dividends, it might reflect here that their net change, it might influence their net change in cash. So decrease in accounts payable can do that. So if they are reducing accounts payable or accruals, this can actually affect that. Then increased inventory or accounts receivable can also significantly influence net change in cash. So then lastly, we have the ending cash. So the ending cash is basically talking about after all the expenses, after all the incoming and outgoing cash, what was left at the end of the day. So that's what we have our ending cash here in that's the ending cash for 2023. I'm trying to see if I can bring in the zoom so that I can give a closer look into the analysis. Okay, I think this would fly now. All right, so like I was saying, let me just do a brief recap. For this operating expenses. So I'll change this to blue so let's observe this again. So this is actually talking about cash received from customers, which is operating cash flow. So like I said before, it refers to cash, or adding to what I said before, it refers to cash generated by the company's core business operations, excluding cash flows from investing and financial activities. So we take out financial and investing activities. So and this is what it accounts for. So it's a key indicator of a company's ability to generate cash. That's what actually it is talking about. How efficient are they in generating cash from their daily operation, such as, okay, we can say how much did they receive from customers, how much was paid to suppliers and employees, how much did they generate from sales of their goods or renting of their services. So that is I think that gives a little bit more light on the operating expenses. Now let's move to the financing. Let's move to the financing cash flow. So the financing cash flow here, whoops, that was a very big circle. So the financing cash flow here actually talks about how did they come about, the finance, how did they generate the cash that was used for the running of the company. How was it going and how much is it? So investing cash flow. Investing cash flow. So investing cash flow, like I've talked about this before. So it's actually talking about how much they had put into investment. This was not what I actually wanted to highlight, because I addressed the investing and cash flow extensively already. What I wanted to discuss was this financing cash flows. Let me put in the zoom so that everything is clear. Okay, so the investing cash flow, the financing cash flow rather, was 141.4 billion naira. So this kind of financial cash flow actually refers to the net amount of funding the company generates in a given time period. In this category, you can have issuance of equity. So the company can issue new shares of stock to raise capital. How did they raise their cash? How did they generate funds for this company? Repayments of equity can also be included here. So the company repurchases its own shares. There are sometimes that a company has to buy its own shares. So issuance of debt, where company issues bonds to take on other debts to raise capital. Capital lease payments. So all of these are what is reflected in this financing cash flow. So in summary, and to do a very, very, very quick recap for what cash flow analysis is. So again, it's a process of evaluating the company's ability to generate cash, which it reflects mostly in the operating cash flow, showing how they generate cash from their sales and products. Then financing cash flow, from how they are able to raise funds by issuing stocks and bonds and all of that. Investing cash flow, how they are able to invest in other companies to gain dividends. And then net change in cash, what is actually happening to the cash as hand. So net change in cash is a company cash balance, what their cash balance is actually. So that's basically all for the cash flow analysis for 2023. I hope that this has given a light. We saw what they started with. That it started with 611 billion and ended with 754 billion. That's a difference of about 130 billion in difference. So I don't think that's bad for a company for the year. So that would be all for this video. Thank you so much for staying. Please do not forget to hit the like button, and also do well to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with insightful analytical videos like this. All right, until see again in my next video. Thank you.